Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Dread River Distilling Company. This is their rye whiskey finished in sherry casks, coming in at a 45% ABV, 3-year age statement. So for full disclosure, this bottle was sent over for us to take a look at and to review, so just keeping that transparency open. So Dread River is actually a somewhat newer distiller that started up in 2017, and more recently hitting the ground running with a whole slew of different spirits to the market. This is actually from batch 1 released in 2022, and they actually have some great transparency going on here, which we love here at the channel. So starting off, we do know a mash bill on this. It is a 95% rye, 5% malted barley. On top of that, we know that they are finishing this in domestic sherry casks for about 6 months. And when it comes to that 95.5 rye mash bill, that tends to be the one a lot of distilleries use when it comes to rum cask finishing, because that rye just plays so well with those spice layers. And I'm really interested to see how Alabama rye can hold up to the big boys that we know and love. So knowing all that great information, let's go ahead and jump into things. As always, we're going to be trying it 2 different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add just a drop of water, see if anything changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit. If you're interested in some other things coming from Dread River, I do plan on reviewing their bourbon here very, very soon. I will be also putting a link to their website so you can look at purchasing yourself some or learning more about the distillery. That'll be linked down below as well. The interesting thing behind the bourbon, it's the first bourbon that's made in Birmingham, Alabama in over 100 years, which is kind of cool too. So kind of a piece of whiskey history in a sense. But when that is live, that'll be linked up above and down below. And if I ever get an opportunity to review some of their other things, those will be linked there too. And I love that they're using domestic sherry casks for this. You know, we're so used to seeing things, using Pedro Menez, which is one of my favorite, or Oloroso sherry, but domestic, really cool. Beautiful dark color. That is like a very dark, almost espresso colored. Gorgeous though, a little golden in there. All right, let's go for notes. Ooh, that's a warm hug. Oh, the fruit layers. The sherry cask is playing very, very well with this. So starting off, you do get that, what I call the craft note, which is a well-aged piece of wood, like from an antique furniture store that's well shellacked. It just has this warming effect when you sit in a chair that's been well kept and beautifully aged. So you get a bit of that almost waxiness from that. The spice layers are subtle. This is unlike normal 95.5 rye that we see. It's not herbal or medicinal, or some people pull out dill as well. This is just subtle spice notes. The sherry cask is beautiful. It's got this dark, rich berryness to it with a little bit of a cherry going on too. Almost like it reminds me of Journeyman Distillery's Pit Spitter, because it's this rich cherry pop to it. The oak layers are very subtle, but have a good impact on that whiskey itself. Get a little bit of vanilla. It's almost playing with the berries, making almost a berries and cream going on, but you get a bit of the caramel, the vanilla, the wood spices going on from the barrel as well. But that cherry is beautiful in there. It's almost like a cherry syrup for me. Almost like if you did Luxardo cherries and got some of the juice out of there where it's sitting in all that goodness. That's what it reminds me of. All right, let's go for a taste. Ooh. Oh, man. Beautiful coating on the palate. Luxurious cherry syrup. There's the craft note. So you get this start off of a buildup of cherry, and again, it's almost like it's not like maraschino cherry. It is dark, rich, heavy cherry notes, like a fresh cherry. And then it rounds about giving you a bit of spice and that bit of oak in there. And then it keeps rolling a bit, bringing out more and more of the dark oak and this craft note, which is a little waxiness with a bit of spice and that little bit of caramel going on in there. That is really good. Second sip here, still the same effects going on. That cherry is a little lighter and bring out more of the spice characteristics coming from that rye whiskey. It's sweet, spicy. It does have a little bit of a drying effect here at the finish, but the juices of a cherry are very prominent here. And I'm really digging the rye spice because it is not like what I was expecting. You kind of, again, when you think 95.5 rye, you're expecting these big, bold, herbal, medicinal. And here it's subtle with just a little bit of those rich spices going on. I'm loving that rye craft note. That is unique, and that is definitely well deserving to give it a sip. All right, let's add a little drop of water. See what changes up here. If I have a guess, and this is just me going to shoot in the dark, I'm hoping it becomes a little more sweet. Sometimes sherry casks can make things go a little sweeter by that little drop of water. And the reason we're adding water, if you're wondering, it sometimes opens up additional notes in the neat version. Sometimes it makes things a little bit more maybe easygoing. Or, again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. So don't let anybody ever criticize you how you want to enjoy your spirit. All right, let's go for notes on the water version. Ooh, I am getting a almost gingerbread now on the neat version. Ironically, so more recently I've been doing a lot of tastings of things done in Ambriana casks, which is a type of wood from South America. And it brings across almost a cinnamon sugar note. Here I'm almost getting that now, but it's more like a gingerbread, like freshly baked gingerbread on Christmas. Oh, that is good. And here, honestly, that little drop of water, it holds up very well in the nose. Almost no differences. It's almost identical with that little drop. I don't pick up the gingerbread over here, but I'm definitely getting it over here on the neat version. But surprisingly, it holds up very well. So let's go for a taste. It's actually bringing out more spices. I'm getting more of a rye note in there now. You're still getting a bit of waxiness from the craft notes, that well-aged oak, but the spice layers are showing up. It's getting a little bit more like rye spice, not necessarily like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg spices, but the spices of rye grain going on. It's a little sweet as well. I am getting definitely more berries than cherry, but the cherry is still showing up too. Maybe a little bit of milk chocolate going on. It doesn't have the same cling to it, which is expected. No argument against the whiskey. That tends to happen when you add that little drop of water. It breaks up some of those oils. But that's really good. Finding a little bit more of the rice spices over here now with the grain. That is really good. And still no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. It didn't break it up or fracture it at all. That is really good. That is gorgeous. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. MSRP on this tends to be about $55, and to be honest, with a craft distillery pulling out these kind of flavor profiles, the finishing, and being transparent, I'll support that. $55 any day of the week, I have no arguments here on that. Beautiful profile that's so different in the rye category. That sherry finishing really did take it another level as well. And adding that drop of water again really changed it up enough for me to come back here and find some additional fun notes. Any day of the week, $55, do it. Give this one a try if you find this on the shelf. It's beautifully soft, but so unique in such a saturated market right now for whiskey. And for a craft distiller to find that niche and come across with these profiles, huge thumbs up on this one. I really like it. And again, if you're interested in what Dread River is doing, a link will be down in the description area below. Go show them some love and maybe pick yourself up a bottle or two. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Dread River Rye Whiskey finished in sherry casks. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit I should go looking for, also let me know down below. I love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might not.